Ah, such a nice day on an... Such a... Who is making that sound? I found you! G'day internet! Welcome to another CSGO video. We have another tip video thingamajiggy for you, so listen up if you want to learn how to be awesome at the game. Today we're going to be learning how to change your radar settings to gain an advantage. And the title may or may not seem misleading, but it really does make me feel like I'm cheating sometimes. I don't know, it might just be me, but I really love this and I'm going to show you how to do it, and you're going to thank me for it, and you're going to gain lots and lots of ranks. Even if you're global, you're going to go just into the atmosphere space. Yep, listen up. Okay, so there's plenty of reasons why we are wanting to change our radar. The first and most important thing is to gain advantage. But how is it advantageous to change your radar? Well, first of all, you're going to have really good map awareness. You're going to know pretty much where everyone is at all times, which is the key to Counter-Strike. It's really just a hide and seek game. Once you know where each other are, it's just a matter of deciding how to kill them before they can kill you. Which is another video entirely, but this is to help with the first part. So, we have our regular radar. Not right now, I don't. But how about I quickly change it to the defaults and show you what it normally looks like.
2 hours later.
Okay, so this is how the radar normally looks. Not so bad, you can see lots of detail and all that sort of thing. You can even see like the little walk up the stairs here, and you can see pit and even the benches and all that sort of thing. So that's great, you can see lots of detail, but if ever you see an enemy, like, you know, off to the other side of the map, I mean not you, but if any of your teammates spots an enemy on the other side of the map, all you get is just a red arrow on the side of your radar. You've probably all seen it, right? Now, when you press tab, you'll notice that you actually see the full map, and that's really handy. So what we're pretty much trying to do is, in a way, emulate this, so you see it all the time. So when one of your teammates spots an enemy, you can look at your map and you'll see a red dot and know exactly where they are. So one thing that I find myself doing a lot is that even if it doesn't affect me or where I am on the map, I still will call when I see someone on the radar. So say I was holding B and I seen someone get spotted in second mid and nobody says anything about it, I will say there's one in second mid, two in second mid, whatever. Just saying that, even if my teammates never realized, even if 4 out of 5 of them knew and seen the dot on the map or the arrow or heard a call or whatever, even if you just have one person, that's 20% of your team that will now be wiser and help you to win. The other thing is that's really handy is when someone spots the bomb on the map. Because obviously the bomb is, you know, that's the way that the enemies are going to try and win. They need to plant the bomb, right? That's just what it's all about. So when you see the bomb, it's really important. If you can trap it, then you can most likely win that round. Keep doing that, you're going to win the game, etc, etc. Etc? Etc. Yes. Anyway, let's move on to actually how we do this. Just as a quick tip before we get started with commands, you'll need to actually have the, what's it called? I just call it the console, it's actually called the developer console. You'll need to have that enabled before you can start putting in commands for the radar. And so that's this thing, this is the console. And I'll quickly show you how to do that. You go into help and options, game settings, right up the top here, enable developer console, yes. So that's what we're going for, and all the rest you'll be able to open this up and type it in. So let's start with what I usually start with when I only just formatted my computer recently, so I've just had to do this myself. I usually start with scaling the radar. So CL underscore radar underscore scale. So normally it's at 0.7. A lot of people play with like 0.3. I quite often play with 0.35. It's really up to you. Try it out and work, you know, see what works best for you, how much you want to actually see of the map, if you want to just see most of it or all of it, or if you like it to be really zoomed out for some weird reason. 0.3 is a good place to start. So as you can see already, you can see my minimap has already changed, and you're thinking that doesn't look very handy. Like that's, you know, that's looking pretty small, out of the way, hard to see. And that's true, we're going to go on to some more commands to try and fix that up a little bit. So the next command that you need to do to make it look a bit better is radar underscore always centered. It's already come up, so you just press the down arrow to go to that one and put that as 0. And now watch the minimap as I press enter. Okay, so now it's actually centered on the center of the map and not centered on you. So it won't follow you around, it will just follow the map around. So let's have a quick look at this. So running around, you can see dots. See, this is why I probably prefer to put the scale as 0.35. To me, just that little bit more zoomed in. I don't know, that's completely up to you. That's just how I like it. I play with 0.35 and I can see most of the map. I can see a little bit tiny bit more detail on the map, and I like that. So at the moment, not too bad. You could play with it like this. There's a couple other commands that I personally do, and there's a few others that are optional as well, and we'll quickly go through them. So the one thing that I like to turn off is this CL underscore radar underscore rotate. I like to turn that bad boy off. The reason why is because another one of my philosophies of this game is to keep things consistent. If you can be consistent with things, you will improve. If you're always having to adapt to different things and the way they are, it's just so much harder to improve, it's crazy. So I keep it as no rotate, as in, see how I can look around now and the map doesn't follow me. It just stays north to south to east to west, stays always the same. So that little, I think the grey indicator up the top there of the minimap indicates north, I think. Anyway, this is going to be a little bit hard to get used to, harder than, you know, the map is not going to be facing the way that you're facing, but it's going to be so much better for your map awareness and knowing how the map is actually laid out. It's actually really handy to be able to see the whole map. You don't really think of it like this a lot of the time, but you know, it's a lot more simple when you see it like this. You see A, you see all the points into it, you see B, you see all the points into it. You can see someone down mid or down second mid or whatever, you know exactly where they are. Anyway, let's move on to a few other things. That's pretty much how I play it, like this. But there are a couple other things that you can do if you prefer. Okay, so let's throw the bomb over there so you can see my player circle. You may notice it's a bit small because I was just going to show you a bit more of a hardcore example. So normally this command, and I'll go through with you just now, CL underscore radar underscore icon underscore scale underscore min is usually set at 0.6. So you can see my player circle is the size that it is. You can change it up to a maximum of 1. So see how big it is now? That's huge. So, you know, you're definitely not going to mistake where an enemy is, but I personally don't really like it like this. I think they hit a sweet spot with 0.6. And the reason being is because if someone spots an enemy or two enemies together, close together, or sometimes even more, if you have the big circles, I think they can kind of overlay and make it look a little bit confusing. It's important to know where people are. It's also important to know how many of them are there. So I like to keep the circle at 0.6. Let's move on to this other one, CL underscore HUD radar scale. So CL underscore HUD underscore radar scale. So the thing with this is it changes the size of the radar, and you can make it, well, I don't know what the maximum is. 1.3 apparently? Yeah, 1.3 is the max. So normally it's 1.15, that's the default. People usually say to make it bigger, and I don't mind that. It's not too bad. It does make everything a lot bigger, and that's again for the people that think that all the icons and stuff are a bit too small or hard to see. And this is quite nice, but once again, completely up to you. I'd probably trial it out and see what you think. I personally like to keep it at about probably 1.2. It's just that little bit smaller, and I like to be able to see where I'm shooting and all that sort of thing. And so that's pretty much it. This is how I play with my radar, and I suggest you have a feel around with the settings too, because it's definitely something that will give you an advantage. That's all I pretty much wanted to show you guys, and hopefully it helps you out. If you have any questions or if you have anything else that you think we should do to make it even better, let me know. But apart from that, that's it guys. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you learned something new. I hope it helps you get better. Hope the video wasn't too long. If you haven't subscribed, hit the goddamn button because I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.